Welcome to this edition of Labor Vision. I'm Bob Delaney, Executive Director of the Institute for Labor Studies and Research. Labor Vision, a production of the Institute, focuses on topics of importance to working Rhode Islanders. We hope you enjoy this edition.
Hello and welcome to Labor Vision, the at-home edition. I am your host, Erica Hammond, and joining me today to talk about the annual children's book drive that they run are both Lori DiMatteo from United Way of Rhode Island and Jocelyn White from Bookstar Wings. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for letting us come on your show. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, and it's really exciting. I know that we have had a few different segments that we've run with United Way recently and over the years, but it's really exciting to have Bookstar Wings on here for the first time as well.
Yes, thank you. We're excited to be here to talk about the drive.
So Jocelyn, do you want to start off by telling me a little bit about the history of Bookstar Wings?
Yeah, so Bookstar Wings is a local nonprofit organization that started here in Rhode Island. Our founder had 4 daughters, and as they were growing, they had lots of books on their shelves, and she decided that, let's time to clear these off. And instead of just getting rid of them and bringing them somewhere else, she decided to donate them to a local daycare center. From there, the conversation just grew, and neighbors started bringing books to her house, and things started being distributed at schools and local libraries. And so a few years later, Bookstar Wings was formed. And so we still do the same thing today, harnessing community power and having sharing of books.
And can you talk a little bit about the importance of sharing these books or donating these books and then distributing them to children?
Yeah, absolutely. So grade level reading is a major focus here in our state and has been for quite a few years. Children that are able to read by 3rd grade and are proficient in reading in 3rd grade are more likely to attend college and continue after careers in a stronger way. And so what happens for children who are struggling readers and may not have access to books is that they tend to fall behind. 3rd grade is kind of a magic year. And so it's really important that children have as many books in their homes to practice reading and to support what they're doing in their schools and in the community. And so by sharing books, we're taking books that children are reading currently, and then we're giving them back out, especially to those families who might not have the opportunity to buy them because books are very expensive.
Right. And can you tell us a little bit about what Bookstar Wings has been doing over this past year? So I know the pandemic has shifted things. It's made both events and the process of giving and donating look a lot different. So what have you guys been up to?
Yeah, so I think what we tried to do from day one last March was really figure out a way that now that the school buildings were closed and libraries were closed, how are we going to be able to support children in reading and continue to have access to books? And so we created what we call the Book Bag Project. And through that, we took the books that we had in our inventory and started putting them in clear plastic bags for easy distribution. We worked with the governor's office and with local school districts to try to get books out as quickly as possible. So families were able to drive by during meal site locations and figure out other opportunities to come pick up books. They had drive-through book fairs in any way possible so that we could children and families could access books. And we're still doing that today in different ways. We're still partnering with our schools and local daycare centers to just ensure that children continue to have that access.
Absolutely. And now the big reason why we're all talking today on Zoom is because I know that you have your annual children's book drive coming up. It's a partnership between Bookstar Wings and United Way of Rhode Island. Can you tell us a little bit about this annual drive? I know that unfortunately it couldn't happen last year, but tell us a little bit about the history of the annual children's book drive.
I think to start from my perspective, I want to say thank you to United Way for finding a way to make this happen this year. This book drive is really important to us as an organization. We are able to collect, thousands and thousands of books each year that we use and keep in our inventory for distribution throughout the summer months and into the fall school year. And so we're really excited that United Way is supporting us and continuing our mission to harness the power of community sharing books.
Wonderful.
It's a wonderful partnership with Bookstar Wings, Women United, and United Way. This is our 9th year collecting books. Unfortunately, last year we were unable to do so due to the pandemic. So we're really excited to be launching this year's book drive for the month of May. And it's a perfect alignment with United Way's mission and our goals, because education is a primary focus area for United Way, both children's education, adult education. So, to Jocelyn's point, getting third graders on reading level by third grade is critical to their success going forward in the school system. So we are excited to launch the book drive this year. Over the past 8 years, we've collected over 216,000 books, which have been distributed through the summer learning programs, the after-school programs, all of the programs that Books Are Wings have. And I was, Jocelyn, so impressed with Books Are Wings, how you pivoted and were able to serve the kids even through the pandemic in a safe way. It was really, really impressive.
Now, you said that this is launching in the month of May, so it's a month-long book drive, right?
Yes.
Okay. And with having to kind of shift gears from last year, not being able to run this book drive, which, as you just mentioned, collects so many books, is there a larger need, even more so this year, to make sure you get even, hopefully, double the number of books to make up for last year?
I would say yes. Is that true, Jocelyn?
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, I think that's what we're finding now is that, we're able to take in from smaller drives, books, and as soon as they come in, they're heading out the door. So but we don't have that kind of great supply in our inventory due to this. So yeah, the idea would be fantastic, so that we have, the opportunity to give children as much choice as possible. And by doing that is just the more we have, the more choices we can offer to the kids.
Absolutely. And so how has the COVID-19 pandemic changed the way this book drive will run? What are some of the changes that have had to be made?
So, we want to do this in a safe way. And United Way is offering 4 different options this year for businesses to run a book drive. And that's primarily where we get the most books. Typically, annually, we'll collect between 25,000 and 30,000 children's books through our partnerships with our corporations and businesses, including labor. And this year we're offering what we're calling a workplace book drive. So companies with staff who are on site, we invite them to run a book drive the way they've done in the past, where they put out a receptacle, a decorated box, and they collect books as employees come in. They drop their gently used new books into the box, and then they can schedule a pickup with me. And I'm working with Jocelyn on pickups. And also the corporations can do what we're calling a drive-through book drive event. So if employers have a combination of on-site employees and remote workers, I'm offering to go to the site, their company, in the parking lot or near the entrance with a box, or just put them right in my car. We'll schedule a time that I'm there and we can have a collection event. And we also have what we're calling community drop-off book drives, where if companies have remote working employees, they can, if one of our drop-off sites is closer to them, they could drop off at one of our collection sites. Currently, we have 3 Cardi's furniture drop-off sites: Swansea, West Warwick, and South Attleboro. And we have Centreville Bank, which is in West Warwick, and East Providence Library, and Books Are Wings and United Way can be a drop-off by appointment only. But basically, they're all going to Books Are Wings, so we're looking to get the books directly to Books Are Wings. And lastly, we have buy and ship. So Books Are Wings annually, and always, right? The link is active always. Books Are Wings has a wish list for new books. Anyone from the comfort of their own home can go on the Amazon wish list and purchase new books, and they'll be sent directly to Books Are Wings. And if an individual person listening to this wants to get involved, and you're not currently in a workplace, you can contact me and we'll work together. And I'll send you some materials to get you started on how to run a book drive. You can collect books from your friends and family. My daughter had a book drive. She just sent out social media and collected a ton of over 200 books.
That's awesome. So just to reiterate for viewers, it's not just companies that can run these different style book drives now. It's individuals can do it themselves amongst friends, family. That's awesome. And you said that if individuals are interested in doing, either individuals are interested in doing a book drive or companies, organizations are interested, if they have any questions, and in order to do that, they can just email you, Lori, at bookdrive@unitedwayri.org, right?
That's right.
And we'll share that email below as well. Now, once this book drive ends, there's all of these books. I know that the work is not done, right? There's still plenty of work to do. So the books have to be quarantined, sorted, and then distributed. What does that process look like, Jocelyn?
So from our perspective, when we first started the book bag project, we had some books in inventory. I would say July of 2020 is when we started accepting books again. And we worked with the Department of Health and local libraries to figure out like what makes sense. And so right now what happens is books that are come in, we just have them in quarantine for a short period of time. And then our staff and volunteers will do kind of a pre-sorting. And what we've been doing is, having volunteers meet us at the office, grabbing some of the books and helping us get them into the bags so that they're easy to distribute after. And so that process has been working amazingly well. It could be super easy. We have drop-offs all outside and pickups outside, so volunteers can pick up the books, bag them into, 2 books into every bag by certain grade levels, and then they'll come back a week later and we'll take them in, and then from there they get distributed. So these books have had a good period of time, and thankfully the CDC changed some guidelines too, so that's helpful for us as well. But they've had some time. They're safe for both all the volunteers, they're safe for us, our staff, and safe for children once they have come and gone from one location to the next. And so yeah, with the goals that we have and thinking about what we may accomplish, we're going to definitely need some help down the road. The fun part is talking about the drive and getting them in, and the hard work and really comes on the other side of it, like getting it all ready to go.
So how can anyone who's viewing or watching this segment now, how can they volunteer for this?
So I think right now, as we see what happens with the drive, they can contact us. Our info is definitely on our website. We have a whole page about volunteer opportunities that include, helping us bag books and helping us at distribution sites. We currently are at all the Providence meal sites every other Tuesday and are always looking for people who want to help distribute books at those locations. So they can jump on our website and check out our volunteer page, but also follow us throughout the book drive on social media, because I think between ourselves and United Way, we'll be talking about other opportunities, that may arise during this time.
Absolutely.
Yes, and to that point, typically we have an annual book sorting event, which is called Day of Action, where we'll bring in 150 volunteers to our parking lot under a tent and sort and label all these books and get them ready for Bookstar Wings. So like Jocelyn said, this year, the books are going to go directly to Bookstar Wings without being sorted. So they will be needing volunteers, and anyone looking to get involved in the book drive, especially if you're a business, you just can email me and we'll give you the support materials and the support throughout the process for you.
And then fingers crossed, we'll have that big day of action next year.
I hope so.
All right. Now, before we close, I know that when I do share this, I'm going to be able to share it with all of the social media information. So anyone watching can also follow along by following you all on social medias. But can I just open the floor for the two of you if you'd like to add anything before we close?
I just, again, wanted to just take a moment to say thank you to United Way for hosting the drive. Thank you, Erica, for hosting this show today and just kind of getting our outreach there to just let, the local community know about other things that are happening in our state, and in such a year that has had so much transition in time that children really need access to books and continuous access. I think we're going to see some interesting things happen over the next year when it comes to what the pandemic has shifted and how it's shifted education and where our children are at. And so I just thank you all so much so that we can do our work.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Erica, and the Labor Vision. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about the book drive. It's really important for the kiddos in Rhode Island, and it reaches many, many children throughout the state. So it's a critical
Absolutely.
need.
Well, thank you both for all of the work that you're doing. Thank you for taking time out of, I know, your busy schedules to be on Labor Vision. And it was great to have you guys for the first time on.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, for those of you who are watching from home, thank you so much for watching Labor Vision. We're talking about the annual Children's Book Drive. And if you've missed any of this segment, you can check it out at our website, which is www.laborvisionri.org. And we hope that you have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Labor Vision. We appreciate your input and encourage your comments. Labor Vision can be seen on this channel 3 times each week: Tuesday at 7 p.m., Thursday at 8 p.m., and Saturday at 5 p.m.